We're Bluphoria. I'm Rain Lafreniere. I am lead guitarist and vocalist, and I'm 21.
I'm Ben, and I play drums, and I'm 20.
I'm Dakota, I'm 18, and I play guitar too.
I'm Rex Wolf, I'm 20, and I'm the bass player.
And we are Bluphoria.
I really love David Gilmour from Pink Floyd and Pete Townsend from The Who were huge influences for me.
I'm a big CCR, Prince, and Bob Dylan fan, along with Hendrix, as you all could probably tell.
I think some of my influences would probably be the Rolling Stones and Jefferson Airplane.
Okay, good picks. Let's see. Led Zeppelin in general. What have we not said yet? Prince.
I mean, for me, I started playing around the end of 8th grade. I apparently asked my parents for a guitar. I don't remember doing that because I really was not very good musically, like vocal-wise at all. I couldn't really sing, but I started playing a lot and listening to a lot of folk music like Bob Dylan and some classic blues artists like Muddy Waters. And then around like junior year of high school, I got into psychedelic rock in the 60s and the Beatles, and I started trying to expand my guitar repertoire.
When I was like 6, I think my mom signed me up for piano lessons. I tried that for like 2 years, didn't like it that much, switched to guitar, and then just quit all out. And then like in freshman year of high school, I had a friend that had like a similar experience to that, and then we decided to start playing again, and we kind of just grew from there, and then yeah.
Yeah, I actually started out on drums. The very first time I heard John Bonham and Led Zeppelin, I fell in love with rhythm. I started playing drums. And then I moved to bass, I think, once I discovered the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Flea, and yeah, just stuck with bass ever since, I think.
I started playing. When did you start?
Oh man, I started on drums when I was like 12, maybe 11 or 12.
I win. I started when I was 10 and a half, 11. I decided to start playing right after 5th grade, and I joined middle school band on Glockenspiel, and then that slowly progressed to drums, and I've never played anything else. I mean, I can play other things, but I started on drums, and I've stuck with it for 10 years now. Oh, but I play guitar and piano.
And Glockenspiel.
And Glockenspiel.
And the whatever the hell that is. It's a long and in-depth story. I mean, I came to University of Oregon in I think 2018.
We were in 2018.
Yeah, 2018 I started Bluphoria with a couple other dudes. And we kind of were just like this jam band for a while. And I met Cheryl and started talking to her on the phone, and then started changing the vibe a little bit, but they weren't really interested in going pop. So some time passed, and one day I was at a house show, and I met Dakota, and the reason we met is because we're in Oregon, so there's not a lot of black people. And so he was walking through the crowd, and he goes, "Hey, another black guy!" And we started doing that, and then we went to a couple after parties, and he told me he went to the school and was 18 and a freshman. So I believed him because who would lie about that, right? But he did.
Dakota would lie about it.
And then we were playing with another bassist who was a friend of his, but we found he wasn't necessarily a fit. But we met Ben because I hung out with his roommate. I was a good friend of his roommate, and his roommate comes up to me and goes, "Hey, my roommate's a drummer and wants to jam with you, but he's too scared to ask you himself." And so I went up to Ben and asked him to jam, and he was super excited about it. And then it became Dakota, Ben, and I.
I played bass for a little bit.
Yeah,
Dakota was on bass
at first.
We did a couple shows like that. Actually, we did 2 shows with that lineup.
Yeah.
And
Picture.
at the
Yeah.
first one,
Yeah.
Rex was in the crowd.
Front row.
We got a picture of
There's
him
a
gawking
picture. It's
at me
amazing.
playing
We
with
have to show
Yeah,
it.
he was
I'll
playing with
send
his
it to you.
teeth.
You
Yeah.
can cut it in.
And
Yeah, and I
It's
was,
amazing.
yeah, I saw you
Smiling,
playing with
like,
his
just
teeth,
like-
and I was like, whoa, like in the
Yeah.
corner, like, wow,
And
amazing.
I was in class the next day, and I saw that he followed us, and it just said
Yeah.
Rex Wolf, musician, and I was like, I really hope he's a bassist. And I go to his account, it's just all bass.
bass.
He looked like the most basic frat dude you could ever see.
His Instagram is terrible.
It was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah,
It was
before
terrible.
my Instagram.
And
beat up.
the only thing that spiced it up was just like there was a picture of a weird filter and a bass just lying on his bed or something like that. And so,
Probably
so we were
something
like,
like that.
let's get him over here. He comes over quiet, learns the songs pretty quick.
Very fast.
Yeah, and we were like, okay,
Yeah,
you're
brought
in a
the-
band.
He brought his
He
Rickenbacker.
brought-
Yeah, I brought
He
my
brought the
4001 Rickenbacker.
That pretty much sold
over.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
Ben,
That's
you
it.
were
That's
in
all
love
that
with it
sold.
when I pulled it out. I remember you asked me, you were like, "Is that real?" And I was like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we kind of didn't give him a choice. We were like, hey, you're in the band, we're playing
Yeah.
next weekend. He
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
okay.
I was full in. I was ready to go.
Yeah, that's
Ready to
just
roll.
how it went.
Yeah.
Over time, we realized he wasn't 18
Yes.
nor in.
I was actually 17 and in high school.
Yeah, he
And I
tricked
just
us.
went to all the shows.
Yeah.
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 Oh man.
Being compared to Gayaki.
Yeah.
All the
Being
time.
confused with the Gayaki yerba mate flavor
All the
Bluphoria,
time.
which has an E in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also
Came after the
Oh,
band.
you guys named your band after that? Your
yeah.
mother? Like what?
I also think that a good thing about being in Bluphoria is that we all like get along hella well. Like
Yeah,
our vibes
yeah.
are super similar.
Yeah.
Which was like the chances you get that in a band are like kind of slim. Like sometimes it's just like these
Yeah.
are my coworkers.
The chemistry is
But
rare.
we got along pretty quick. I think it was because we started off in the party scene, so we had to
Yeah.
like we kind of hung out and partied together. But for the most part, it was just we were just a bunch of friends hanging out, and then I would be the guy being like, "Hey, PR, like we got to do a show every weekend."
Uh-huh.
To the point where they were super tired about it. Like
Yeah.
he
And
wasn't.
you weren't?
I loved
He,
it.
I
love
it was
it.
something
we were,
I had
we
to
were
do.
running around, but it was fun.
It was a
I
great
mean,
time. I would
Yeah,
not-
Like
every
every
weekend was a blast.
3 times a week we'd be playing a show
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It was on average 2
Friday,
times.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to get a Friday, Saturday every single week.
Sometimes a Thursday.
Sometimes a
Sunday.
Thursday, sometimes once a Wednesday.
Every now and then, like a Tuesday.
And because that was our jobs at that point, we were making money. Like
Yeah.
we were
It was
making
fun.
more money than I've ever seen come through on music so
Yeah.
far. So that was just kind of our.
Yeah, I
that's
think
kind
I
of
would
our story.
I would definitely agree, which is why I love being before is like in high school and stuff, I was in 1,000 bands, jazz bands, punk bands, whatever, but never have had the chemistry that the four of us got.
So it's rare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just
And,
jammed so
yeah,
well
when we
together.
got when we
just
got in
really
the
break
groove,
it down.
you could see it on stage.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Just be like.
And me
Our
and Ben, the
chemistry up
rhythm,
there.
we link up so good in that pocket.
We have a lot of
Love it.
iconic photos.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
of
yeah.
me, like it looked like that classic like Jesus and God photo. it was like a beer and like somebody
yeah.
else's hand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's
my
so
head.
good.
Yeah.
I was like handing you a beer.
Over
Yes.
band. Yeah, we have a lot of good moments like that.
Yeah.
And another great
Shout
thing
out.
is that like the crowd would always be super engaged with us.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
One time somebody told us that they wanted
house
to do
show scene is
an
amazing.
after party at their house. Had to say it 4 times on the mic to
Yeah.
200 people.
Every
Not a good
song,
idea.
every song.
and then
you say
300
that.
people showed up to the house,
Uh-huh.
absolutely trashed. It was
Cops
bad.
came.
Cops,
It was
6
fucking-
cops,
yeah.
it was a rock and roll moment.
Yeah.
We've had a few of those.
Yeah.
Rock and rollers.
No, I was gonna say that one time that we went to that secret show, and then
Oh.
we hijacked it.
Oh,
we
my
just
God,
got
yeah.
Okay, so they.
Hold on, let me tell you what it was though. We
totally forgot
We
about
are
that.
literally like next door neighbors with the people
Oh,
whose
yeah,
house
well,
this
no.
happened at now.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was just coincidence. Okay, so basically, they invited us to like this secret show, and we were just gonna be like audience
It was like a
members.
showcase with another band.
Yeah, it
They
was a
wanted-
new
they
band
wanted
that was
us-
just
They
breaking
wanted
out on
us
the
to like
scene.
give them advice
Yeah.
or something.
They
on
were
the-
brand
But then
new.
like they finished
Brand
their
new band.
set, and they're just like, "Hey, does anybody want to come up and jam?" So like one at a time, one person
I
at a
think you
time.
started
like,
and
each
then
song.
I came up.
You started. I was last.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hopped on
Yeah,
bass.
I went
and
up
he hops on bass, then
Yeah.
you get
left
on
for a
guitar. Yeah, and then I come
then you
back.
came on
I get
guitar.
on guitar. He gets on drum. We just play our
And we
set
just did a
in
set.
front of everybody.
And everybody-
Just like,
everybody
hey,
was
man,
so
you can't-
hyped.
Completely
And the other
hijacked
band
it.
that played got like upset at us because
I know.
the crowd was like
That
really,
after.
the crowd was
Stole
really
their show.
moving and crap, and
was a
they
good
just
show, man.
we
That
kept
was
like
a fun
modestly being
show.
like, hey, you guys okay with this? And then the crowd would be like, yeah, one more.
Yeah, we didn't really mean to. It just
No,
kind of
we just-
happened.
yeah,
So
it
we,
was just for the
we
moment.
eventually got kicked off the stage. Went to a different show.
I was gonna say when we played Laurelwood Park in Portland for the first round of the BLM protests up there, there were like 1,000 people there,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah, that
not
was
what we
a
were
huge show.
expecting. We went up there and Rex wasn't even there.
Yeah, I wasn't
He was
I
on
never
bass
went on
again.
bass.
Yeah, Rex, Dakota was playing bass. We were expecting like 100 people, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a
It
lot.
was a lot of people.
Yeah.
It
And
was-
this was
Yeah.
mid-pandemic too, so we were kind of scared. That's why he couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't go. My parents locked me down and were like, "You're not going anywhere." And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right."
But we played a really killer show and it was really cool to play that many people. That's like the most people we've ever played to
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, my favorite show personally was Matthew Knight. Like
yeah.
being in an actual
We were
stadium
Oh,
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was with the other
Whatever,
lineup.
just
But
talk
I,
about Matthew
like,
Knight
The other lineup.
the sound was amazing. I felt amazing, and I hope to do that again someday.
Yeah, I think besides the one at the
Yeah.
birdhouse that we
That was
hijacked,
crazy.
I think probably one of my favorites was probably that first Wow Hall show we did.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
The
yeah.
energy we had at that show was just
Wow Hall-
off the
we
charts.
were
Wallhall
It
is
was
a
so
mid-sized club
good.
in Eugene.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
goes to.
Whenever you
We
put
had
us
a
on an
good
actual
set there.
stage, for some reason
We just like
we just
were on.
because we're so
We
used to
Smoke
being in like
machines and lights and
a
entertaining
10-foot
rooms.
area
where
with
so
everybody's
monitors.
stepping on your
Yeah.
pedal boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and having to
It was
kick
great.
people back in the middle of the show. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and
We actually
you
had like
put us on a
and
stage.
you had like an actual riser and you could
Yeah.
fucking be. Yeah,
Yeah, smoke
it was
machine.
awesome.
Yeah, that was a good show.
I moonwalked into another guitar. Like somebody put a guitar over me.
That was an
and-
accident.
Yeah,
But it
I
was
broke
a
my
happy
string,
accident.
and I was like, "Hey, I need a guitar."
yeah.
So I was trying to entertain people, so I was just doing stupid dances and like walking around the stage, and I started showing them the moonwalk I was practicing, and I moonwalk, and this guy Clay, who's in another band, a good friend of ours, literally put his Strat over me as I moonwalked into
Yeah.
it, and I just started playing. It was so cool.
Yeah, yeah, he's notorious for breaking strings. You break them all the time.
I was like, him too. Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you do.
I
Yeah,
always,
you break 'em
I
too.
always
Back
break
on
my
your toes.
picks. Like for the first
Oh,
like
yeah.
5 or 6 shows, I would break my pick halfway through and just have to play with like the jagged edge. So go download our music. Our single
Yes.
just came out.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Check out our socials.
We're
It's
excited.
called
Sure.
Something More,
Uh-huh.
along with Conscientious Debauchery.
Yep.
Yeah.
We think you'll like Something More. It's a pretty catchy song.
We think you like Conscientious Debauchery too.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
if you're into like the more down tempo psychedelic
Yeah.
type,
Mhm.
you know, we had a little release for both crowds.
Yeah.
My